Well, so-called sober living homes are a booming business that the federal government protects from local ordinances in order to operate in residential areas. Now, one California congressman is working to return control to local communities. One America's Neil McCabe has the details.
Republican California Congressman Dana Rohrabacher told One America News that one day he walked outside his door to find his 8-year-old son talking to an unescorted drug addict from the sober living home across the street. The incident was an in-your-face wake-up to the issue of sober living homes operating out of control of the local government in his town of Costa Mesa.
Now, I'm not saying that something for sure would have happened, but the fact is this is unacceptable.
Rohrabacher said the federal government fostered a cottage industry of people buying regular residential homes in residential neighborhoods and turning them into boarding houses for alcoholics and drug users, many of them collecting public assistance. The bill, H.R. 5724, is co-sponsored by Florida Republican Congressman Brian Mast, whose Florida district has also attracted the sober living homes industry.
In the past, those type of decisions were made by city council or by local people, but the federal government has co-opted it. That's why we need to pass legislation.
The incoming mayor of Huntington Beach, California, told One American News in his city, sober living homes have become a menace.
We've had one house on Huntington Street where we've had 2 overdoses, deaths in the house. So there's drug use going on in some of these sober living homes, and there's no supervision, nothing. And the city can't go in and stop them because 6 and under are considered a family.
Peterson said homes collect $30,000 to $40,000 a month, and to feed this industry, body brokers from around the country find new residents in exchange for a bounty.
They call it body brokering. They get paid about $1,000 a person. Once they get here, a company signs them up for every federal and state program they can. They start getting the money in. Once the money runs out, they open the door, kick them out. It becomes our homeless problem.
Professor Benny Waller has studied the effects of sober living homes on property values, and he travels the country as an expert witness on the subject.
Residential properties located within an eighth of a mile as a drug rehab center suffer about an 8% loss in value, and that goes out even further to about a quarter of a mile.
Waller told One American News in his research there has never been a case of a sober living home improving the value of neighboring homes, nor an example of property values remaining the same. The congressman said it is not fair to let federal laws and regulations lead to the destruction of a regular family's only asset.
And this is all ordinary people have. That's all they have is the value in their home. And if we devalue that by permitting sober living homes to be built in residential areas, those people are put at risk, and they are also, the value of their home property is being brought down.
In the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, the federal government classified alcohol and drug addiction as a protected disability. The Rohrabacher bill retains this classification for the purposes of insurance and treatment, but clarifies that local cities and towns can regulate these homes for zoning, community standards considerations, as well as health and welfare inspections.
We need to pass legislation, which I have proposed, that takes that decision-making back to the people, back to local government, to zone.
Congressman Dana Rohrabacher began his public career writing speeches for President Ronald Reagan. Back then, he wrote Reagan's speeches talking about getting the federal government out of the way. Now, as a senior congressman, he is writing legislation to do just that. Neil W. McCabe, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.